To the Reiki Healing Hope community, a place to heal, to grow, to relax, to be yourself, and to be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom. I am Jessica. I'm a Reiki Master Practitioner and intuitive, and I'm going to be facilitating this experience for you today. Today we have a special healing. It is a self-acceptance healing. To accept yourself as you are. As we go into this space of Mercury in retrograde, we're going to just be open to who we are and have faith that who we are was the perfect expression of who we should be. So we're going to ground down, just taking off layer after layer of these personas or things we're putting on that no longer serve us. So if you're new to the community, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, to comment, because I love to hear what's going on with you. I only ask that you comment for your highest vibrational good so we can keep this a safe community we all love coming back to. And as we start our practice, we start with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It can be a multi-faith prayer. It is a spiritual prayer to root us down in our individual healing experience. And connect us to community. So do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I take your hand? And I want you to really hold this. This is black obsidian. Dear Mother, Father, God, all for the highest good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Kutumi, Oshun, Mawu, Waitara, and all the Taras. Thank you for allowing us to connect to our ancestors, our lineage, our spirit guides, and spirit animals. Please root us down in our individual healing experience as well as connecting us as a community. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, 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 and so it is. So as we start off our practice, I'm going to take this Palo Santo and I'm going to take it around your aura. Because we're just telling the universe, hey, I'm here today. I'm checked in. And I'm ready to just live with an open heart. Self-acceptance can be very difficult. Good job, breathe that in. But very possible. Good job. And I'm going to start drawing the symbols on your chakras. Okay. So relax here. And I'm going to be looking right in your energetic field for that particular place of self-acceptance. Sometimes between the third eye, sometimes between the solar plexus. Let me see what it is for you. Okay. I'm going to start drawing out the reasons why. So during this session, you're going to start feeling why this self-acceptance is blocked. And just be open to whatever the reason is. I'll give you insight into community, what you are an individual to, so you have your own reasons as well. Right now, I want you to see yourself as confident as you can. What would that feel like? Just putting my hand right here on your head. What would that feel like? Okay. Now I'm going to remove that away and allow you to feel how you feel now. What is the difference? Probably the difference is fear. The difference can be mental. Could be a touch of emotions in there. No worries. We're gonna clear that out for you today. The mind is such a beautiful thing. The mind can make you sick, and the mind at the same time can heal you. We have this brain that it's thought we don't even use its full capacity. That's why I always felt that those in the energetic sphere, the metaphysical sphere, people who are mediums, psychics, intuitive, healers, those who just work with these realms, shamans, that really what's happening isn't this spooky thing. I think it's more of we're just using various capacities of our brains that we all have access to, but we don't necessarily learn or root down in the societies we live in, depending on the culture that you're coming from. Just because you are an energy healer or you have these special abilities, it does not mean you have every answer. It does not mean that you are not living a life yourself. And I think because of that, as a society, it can be a little tricky to want to value using or learning those skills. I'm feeling now that a lot of you all have skills within yourselves that you're not necessarily wanting to learn because this is not, at this time in history, that's not necessarily what's valued. And I think a part of that is the lack of self-acceptance. Even if you don't choose to become a healer, or even if you don't choose to activate your gifts full time, I think it will help you feel better in life in general if you follow that path. Not everybody has to be a healer. Not everybody has to do this work long term or externally in front of people, but you have to do that work within yourself. You have that special gift that I can feel it, like I literally can feel. And what it is the knowing that you have this special gift that I think you're afraid to look into further. Maybe you don't have to explain it to people, or I don't even think it's that, to be honest with you. I think you are unclear, or you're not really looking at how powerful you are, because you're very, very connected. You're very, very powerful. And I think you just kind of play this game with yourself where you downplay that in order to create an image of yourself that isn't necessarily the image that you were meant to live, that you were meant to have. And to that, I would say you have all of these beautiful gifts, and you should definitely share it, even if that means you're very connected and that means you're an artist and you share your art, or you're very connected and you work with people. So having that experience with people can definitely move you forward in your different professions and careers. But that's really what I'm feeling for community. For you particularly, you're just a little scared, and that's okay. Being scared is okay. I think you're scared of your own power, to be honest with you. That's really what I'm getting. I think these concepts come easy to you, and that's scary because there are people around you, people you love, people that are important that may not get it in the way you do, and you don't want to turn people off. You don't want to be too up here and not feel like you can't relate. And I think that's one of the big misconceptions about our spiritual paths. It's not always about, this being up here, being in this kind of seventh chakra, just over here, that the goal is to reach enlightenment. Very few people have the ability to go and live that life of solitude. Very few people. Really, I think that most of us have to do that balance of how do we get that wisdom from the top, as well as how do we take it to manifest in the physical, to be among people. And that is the biggest difference. So if you need some validation, yes, you can do both. Within your energy, you have the ability to do both, and you're going to do it in a specific way. I'm feeling it in your career or as a parent. You're going to do it there. And it's less going to be about kind of gurus and big, this big idea. Doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to do that, but that's not, you don't have to be the Deepak Chopra for you to bring really purpose and passion and change into this life. And that's what I'm getting. So I'm going to go in now with some carnelian for the sacrum and just see what's going on there. Okay. You do have a lot of hope. You do have a lot of hope. You all don't know. I actually have to put this down so you can hear me. You all do not understand how much power you have. Like, I'm just getting this overwhelming sense of knowing that you are playing small. I mean, as soon as I picked up the carnelian and I put that on your solar plexus, I got this, okay, like this person is amazing. They got all of this big stuff, but they're playing so small. And I think you think that's you being humble, but really what it is it's setting you back. You really can't play small anymore. And I don't think it really isn't even fear that, someone's gonna knock you down or something. It's not that at all. Really, I think you've convinced yourself to dim your light because your ultimate goal is to do or to have spaces or have work or have connection that makes other people blossom. And I think it's really, you just have not learned how to utilize your skills. You just have not mastered your skills, and you're thinking that this is how to do it. I'm going to make myself really small, and I'm going to, illuminate those around me. I'm going to illuminate those who meet me. And I don't think that that's actually helpful, because what you're teaching them is, yes, you're saying words of confirmation and confidence, but you're also teaching them that you have to remain small, that, once you get to this space that you too should hide. And I don't think that's your intention. That's why I said it's going to happen in career or in family. That's usually when those dynamics show up. What you really want to do is you want to shine bright, and you want to put yourself out there, and you want people to be illuminated that way. So for the next 2 months, you literally have to get your ish together, meaning you need to write a plan. You need to write a kind of like a life master plan of what you want to get accomplished, as well as what you specifically want to get accomplished in 2020. Make the decision that you are going to do it, and go and do it, because you have everything you need. Just this belief during this Mercury in retrograde period that's coming up, that's really going to open up for you, open up these exact concepts, and you're going to deal with that self-love, or specifically self-acceptance. I just want to keep on like harping at it, but I don't think that that's really going to do any good. It really is a time for you all to open. You all are really going to blossom in April. Work on yourself during these next 2 months, and I just feel it so strongly that you're going to blossom just a different life, and what I mean by different life is that a different perspective on life that you have to keep working on, because if you stop working on it, you're just going to go back. But really do that work. You all know I have great expectations for you, and it's because I really, really, really see that potential. I see those leaders, but I also am just letting you know that you playing small doesn't service anyone around you. So step out there and bet on yourself. Bet that you are enough. A lot of you are very caring caregivers, in a kind of caretaker role, very open, very connected, wanting to move past trauma. And what I will say with those particular things, that it's just time to blossom. Who you are is exactly who you were meant to be. And as you blossom, you share your story so that others may get out of those places that you were before. But if you do not share your story, you are actually doing a disservice to all that you have gone through. You hear it really in, like, if you are a part of Christianity or something like that, or you're just familiar with Christian faith, it's called your testimony. That's what people say. Like, you go up and you give your testimony, and if you do it all the time, you do it consistently to the point that you're talking, to your community often. In a religious capacity, it then becomes your ministry. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Christian focused thing, but think about it as your testimony, as your ministry, as your life's work. Again, it does not have to be religious. It can be multi-religious. It's whatever feels right in your heart. You have to lead with that, and you have to be the person to set that path. You're not going to find the community that you are looking for because you have to create it. Period. I just see this beauty, and I'm going to definitely do some extra healing sessions for you so that you feel deeply connected with yourself and you can trust yourself. So, sorry family, didn't mean to go on that tangent. I just really wanted you to get that message across, that you are just a bright shining light. Take that cap off and you're fine. You are definitely fine. So I'm going to close us out today. I'm just going to let you know that next week, starting February 3rd, we are doing for the next 2 weeks love only healings. So that's love attraction, self-love, anchoring love with your partner, all of that work. And it's this internal work to allow the external to grow. And especially listen to it if you have any trying times, any times that you feel like you need. Because honestly, they're temporary and they're mostly for growth. They're really not to punish you. You didn't do anything wrong. We are taking that cap off of you. Oh my gosh. You all just don't know. I've had some of you reach out to me and tell me how you're moving past your limitations, how you're growing and how you're blooming. And I'm sure that there's a large majority of you who are doing that. And then there is a minority who, is still on that healing path, still trying to just get there to start to be like, oh, I can be confident. But just know that you are destined for this confidence, that you are destined for this path, that who you are is meant to be. So, if no one has said it to you, family, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love you. I'm so excited for you. And you are able to accept yourself as you are. So, I'm going to say, until next time, bye. If you want to keep watching, click on the box